The only thing for July was this, new regions. That was it. The only thing for July. So we pulled in August at the same time. So a couple of cool things. So support for geometry data type, that's in preview now. So you've got geography data type and geometry data type. So geospatial, exciting, cool things happening there. So take a look at that. Snowpark stored procedures for Java and Scala are now in GA, general availability, for AWS and Azure. They are still in preview for Google Cloud. So something to look at there. Account replication, we got a teeny little line here, but this is actually really cool. This is now here. It's in preview. Account replication allows you to replicate a lot more than just a share. So we can replicate roles, we can replicate account our users, we can replicate virtual warehouses and the granting of roles, the privileges back and forth. So we're really getting to the point where we can do some really cool stuff with DR, some of those kind of things. So there's some really cool stuff there. If you're interested in that, go take a look at the docs. There's some really good information there. There are a few limitations, and there's some things that you need to look at, and you got to see if you want to use that. Are you using that just as a replication or as failover also? So replication, of course, all that's read-only. Then if you do a failover and you promote the secondary to the primary, then you'd actually have the read-write ability there. So really cool stuff there. SQL updates, everything is geospatial functions. So we've got the ST difference, ST intersection, ST sim difference, and the ST union. Those are all there. The difference will take two data sets, and it will give you all of the ones that are in the main data set only. So that's what the difference is. It's going to give you only the ones that are there. The intersection will take the two of the geospatial data sets and it'll give you all the points that are in both of them. The sim difference will give you all of the ones that are in one or the other. And the union just gives you everything. It unions them all together. So that's for those. And then the endpoint, the point N and the start point, those are for the line. So your endpoint, if you had a line of points, the endpoint's going to give you the last one. Start point's going to give you the first one, believe it or not. And the point N is going to give you some specific one somewhere in the middle, so you can grab that. So some really cool stuff there. Take a look at those. Again, if you're doing geospatial, those type of things, really some cool stuff that's coming along there. We've got new regions, Sao Paulo, Osaka, and US East 4 now in Northern Virginia. I don't know that in GCP. So got that. Data pipeline updates, tasks. There is now support for multiple predecessor tasks in a single SQL statement. So what that means is if you have a DAG, if we've got a set of tasks, parent and child tasks, any task that you have that is not the root task or a direct child of that root task can now have multiple predecessors. So if we've got multiple layers like a DAG of tasks, we can have a task at level 3 that is dependent on multiple tasks in level 2, for example. And right now, the way that that's going to work is that if a task is a dependent of multiple parent tasks, all of those parent tasks or the predecessor tasks would have to complete before the child task, the dependent task, would run. So that's, but you can define that in the create statement of the task or in the alter statement of the task. So you can set that up. And the way that you do it, it's just a comma separated value. So if you had task A, B, and C that were the predecessors of task D, it would be, you'd have A, comma, B, comma, C. So that really easy the way that you do that. So take a look at that. Some cool stuff there. Tasks are really kind of growing up, and there's some really cool things coming. There's still some stuff we want to see, but they're making progress, doing some really cool stuff. So organization updates, org admin role is now in GA. So the org admin role allows you to get at some of the organizational information. So some cost and usage information across all of your different accounts in the same org. And you use that role to get at the organization usage views, which are in the Snowflake database in the the org usage schema. So there's a number of secured views in there. You can get information on some of your usage information. You can get information on all the serverless tasks, materialized view maintenance, cluster key maintenance, all of those things across all of your different accounts. You can see that in the organizational usage. So that's in GA. Also, there's now support for renaming accounts without having to go to Snowflake support. So you can rename an account if you want. And when you rename an account, you can still access that account with the old URL or with the new URL. If you want to retire the old URL, you can do that. You've got that capability, but you don't have to. So you can get to it from either of the URLs, and you can do that without having to go through Snowflake support. Data governance updates, access history is updated, so view of shared objects are available. So if we shared a secure view with a reader account or with another Snowflake account, what we could do is we could go into access history, and we would see anytime that was queried, the secured view was queried from the share, we would see that, but we would see it in the base data objects, the base object access. And so basically, so we haven't broken the security there, so you can't use that to get through and figure out what's behind that secured view, but it's there, so we can see usage there through access history. Masking policies and role access policies, the support is added for is role in session now in mapping table lookup, so that's really cool. We can do, is the role in session and build that into our policies. So we can look at roles in hierarchy and if we want to be able to use that for row access policies and masking policy. That's really cool. The other thing with masking policies, a little tricky here. I would highly recommend if you are using dynamic data masking in Snowflake, go take a look read this in the documentation. Go take a look at this view. There is a temporary view in the Snowflake account. It's in the BCR something schema. It's a temporary view. And what's happening is with the 2022-07 rollout, there are, if you have some masking policies that are going to return, let's say, for example, we had a column that is a not null column, and the masking policy masks that and returns a null value. With the new rollout of the new the 2022-07 rollout, if you ran that query and the masking policy tried to return a null value for a column that is set to be not null, that query will fail. Also, if, for example, if you had a column that was a varchar 2 and your masking policy was returning a mask of 5 asterisks, that will fail. And so we got to look at this and find out if any of our masking policies have these issues. And so this view, this query view in the account usage, Snowflake, Snowflake, not account usage, but that BCR schema will show you any areas where you have an issue, and it will tell you what kind of an issue you have, null value being returned, a data type issue, or something that you got to go look at manually. So go take a look at that. Very important so that when that actually does roll out, it doesn't break any of your queries that are using your the masking policies.
Hey folks, thanks for checking out this cut from our broadcast. To see the full show, click on the link in the video description. Also, check out our Learning Center, which has white papers, events, live streams, and short explainer videos on a wide range of data management topics. And of course, if you like our content, please share it on LinkedIn. That really means a lot to us. Thanks again for checking us out, and we hope to see you in our next broadcast.